Hey Joe, my man.
James, how you doing? Good to see you.
Thanks for letting me come along this morning and speak to you about this amazing product.
My pleasure.
I've come to see Joe. Joe is my good friend. We hooked up last year around Comic-Con season. I was working on my Iron Man Mark IV and I was building it out of EVA Foam floor mats. Sorry Joe. You introduced me to professional grade
the good stuff,
foam. Yeah, the good stuff. And also I was looking for a really good solution for painting my Iron Man. I wanted it, I didn't want much, did I?
No,
I wanted it to be
much.
Easy to paint, with no brush strokes. I wanted it to sort of dry glossy, almost like a glass finish, and it had to be flexible, right? So it was going on foam. And you told me all about this amazing stuff here. So, Joe, tell me a little bit about the concept behind your awesome Flexi Paint.
So, long story short, many years ago, I remember seeing this one kid, much like yourself, not kid.
Just call me a kid. I like that.
Kid. He's very youthful. This guy was making an Iron Man suit, but he was making it on his kitchen table. The difference is he wasn't making it out of foam or out of Flexi Paint. He was using fiberglass. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some incredibly talented people out there who are making suits out of fiberglass, and I can respect that. The one thing I can't respect is the smell and toxicity of it, because it takes weeks to get out of it. It's horrible stuff. Several years back, we developed Flexi Paint. It's non-toxic, water-based, and latex-free. Because there's no odour to this stuff as well, you can do it in your house, and that's where we started with it. Because, again, fiberglassing an Iron Man suit in your kitchen is not the best.
Sounds so much fun.
It is fun, but life expectancy gets shortened.
Yeah.
So
you are single-handedly changing the face of the cosplay industry and saving the world at the same time, right?
well, yes, saving the world, saving the world, one bottle at a time.
Think of the planet, guys. I thought this was amazing, and one thing that I experimented with when I first started using this was, as I said, to get that non-brush stroke, and I mixed it a little bit, so I got a nice kind of consistency that was wet enough for it to find its own level, but thick enough to still dry like a nice sort of layer. And with this stuff, I did the metallic red to get that subtle metallic red of mine. And when I was wandering around at Comic-Con, people were saying, that's not floor mats. It's not floor mats. It's like automotive paint. So no, it's floor mats. It's cool.
Shh. It looks really good. Don't touch it.
I have to tell the truth. I still use EVA floor mats every now and then.
Get
Why
out.
not? Why
Get
not,
out.
eh?
Get out.
It's a rite of passage, I think. A lot of people
It is.
start there.
This kind of foam, there's no pattern on either side, so you can.
That's it. That's key.
Life is a lot easier, and it comes in massive sheets as opposed to little diddy squares all the time.
Yeah, and the good thing about being able to buy it on the roll. So look, if you're just going to get EVA foam floor mats, the interlocking ones on Amazon, you can do. They come in packs. They're quite cheap, and there's nothing wrong with that. But they're kind of all 10 mil pretty much. They're all centimetre thick, and you get them in I think 30 by 30 or 60 by 60, and that's about it. I was building a wheel for a droid that has a very long track when you fold it out, way longer than 60 centimetres. And that wasn't the only reason I wanted to use this stuff. You can buy it at different lengths, different thicknesses, and you're going to tell us a little bit about some of those different types of foams now, aren't you?
Depending on what you're making, there's so many different ways you can make it, and then there's so many different foams you can use as well. Where do you start with it?
It's a bit of a minefield, and that's one of the reasons why I've been putting these videos together. Most of my YouTube channel to date has been about 3D modelling, as in CG models and animations, as you've seen. And I've only really been playing with this stuff since last year. And I'm addicted to it now, hence this new content. But yeah, for me, the journey was all about trying to find the right stuff. And it's confusing as hell.
Oh yeah,
you clearly know your stuff. As you say, I'm still learning.
It's confusing for me as well.
And to work out just what it is I need to start with is the biggest problem, because until you've got that start, you don't ever get the project done. What would you say the best? What's your best selling stuff, if you don't mind talking about that?
The best selling is the 45. It's the starting block, the next level up from your EVA floor mats. So that's where people generally start, and then it's a slow build. You have 45 density, you have 65 density, you have 100 kilo density, which no one actually really knows what that means.
Yeah, just describe what we mean by density. I know what density means.
Yeah, we understand what density
means. In terms
means,
of foam, what does it actually mean?
45 density foam. This is a rough cut 10 mil. It's extremely flexible. Because of how soft it is, this I'd probably recommend for, as you can see there, you can get nice fluid flowing shapes For organic shapes, it's perfect, but that's not to say you can't use it for Iron Man.
Hard surface things.
When James first told me he had made his suit out of the floor matting, it was stunning. It was fantastic. It was floor matting. It was still fantastic, but I said to him, as soon as you start using the 100 kilo density foam, you will never be able to go back to anything else, and that's a problem.
My favourite thing.
What did I say to you?
It's just
what did I say?
Taking a knife and making that first cut. It's crisp. It's addictive. I found myself just cutting it up just for the sake of cutting it up. You get really it sounds worrying, doesn't it? But you get a really kind of defined edges with it, and when you're working with what I call hard surface builds, sort of mechanical stuff like that, it's beautiful. Well, ultimately, this stuff is not an exact science. It's foam. Right?
Exactly.
It's not a 3D printer. It's not CNC'd or anything like that. It's foam. Okay. And there's a human being behind cutting this and putting it together, which is what attracted me to the process of making mine out of foam.
Exactly.
So, however good you get at this, and I like to consider I've done all right in a few months.
I'd definitely say
you're
so.
Still going to be wanting to hide some of your sins somewhere down the line. So, do you want to just mention this real quick?
Yeah, of course. Flexi Fill. The filler can just literally be smeared in. It dries really quickly, and you can wet sand it as well, so you can make it as nice as possible. It's non-toxic, again, it's water-based. It's very similar to the Flexi Paint. The thing is that you can just literally take it with your finger and you can smear it into the cracks, into the seams if you've got bad seams where, let's be honest, you're forever learning new techniques, new methods. So one of the things that we've got is Flexi Paint, but we have it in clear.
Yeah.
When it dries, there's a tack to it. With the tack, if you're painting acrylics over the top, that will grip to it, but if you take powder pigments, as I showed to you, you buff it into the surface and it grips onto it.
And then you just rub this very, very fine metallic powder, which comes in different colours like you've just described, straight onto the surface. And you can do it with your finger if you want, you can do it with a bit of cloth, whatever, and it will just naturally take its own level, and then it can buff it up. So you can see on screen now the test that I did on the Flexi, clear Flexi with the powder pigment on the top, and I managed to get a near mirror finish with that.
Nice.
But the good thing about it is it's so flexible. You can see in the video now that I'm twisting it left and right, and it's not cracking. And for me that is the key to this whole product of yours.
Yeah.
The Flexi word. It's just insane. It's amazing. So you can find Tyges online. What's the website?
It's pronounced Tyges. Which is tyges.co.uk.
Yeah, and there'll be a link down in my description for that. And you can go online there. Yeah, nice t-shirt, Joe.
I like your t-shirt. Who's that from?
Who's this from? This is from Street Shirts. I
can't remember where I got mine.
There you go, Street Shirts. And moving forward, I'm pretty excited about this. We are going to be working on, and it's top secret in a minute, but a large build of some kind in the next year.
Yes, we are. What are we making?
Yes, we are. What do you know? We're going to talk about it. Off camera.
I'm going to need more stuff, aren't I?